All right, Speedaddixxgarage, welcome back to another episode with the Turbo EG. You missed the last episode, check the link here or here where we mounted the Speed Factory front mount intercooler. On this episode, we are gonna mess with the intercooler piping. To start off with, we need to work on the intercooler. As you can tell, I got this thing all taped off to protect it. And the reason we need to protect it is because on this particular intercooler, we have a 2.5 in, a 2.5 out with his turbo and throttle body setup. We need to go from a 2.5 to a 3-inch. All his piping is gonna be 3-inch. So the first thing we need to do is cut both of these off, and I'm gonna show you my approach of getting that done. Wow, that's right. We're gonna use a cutting saw from Ryobi with, guess what? A wood style cutting blade. Believe it or not, these wood blades or these little chop saws set up like this are actually the perfect candidate for cutting aluminum. You can't do steel with it. I'm sure if you do steel, you'll cut the teeth or knock the teeth off and that mug will hit you in the throat, and then, you know what I'm saying, you have to call 911. But believe it or not, this is actually a good candidate for cutting aluminum. So let me show you a piece I've already cut real quick just to prove it to you. Check that out. Cut that piece down. Of course, the inside need to be like deburred or whatever, but you get the drift. Yeah, I was shocked when I seen it on YouTube. And guess what? I'm a YouTube mechanic. No, I'm just playing, for I'm not, but I'm a mechanic by trade. But look at that cut one more time. Look at that cut. And then also look at my new little logo, you know what I'm saying, on the aluminum, you know what I'm saying? We might actually throw this on Daniel's EG intercooler piping somewhere. And I'm working on getting a stainless one made as soon as my boy Kyle Clayton speed up the process. All right, fam, let's see if we can maneuver this thing and set this thing up in here so that we don't, to a point where we don't jack it up. And I know I'm not gonna be able to go all the way down because we got these threaded bosses. We're gonna get everything set up and make it happen. And this Ryobi saw has a nice little laser. Let's see how good that junk works. Whoops. I ain't gonna lie, that junk scared the mess out of me. Hey, we're gonna finish it off in the bandsaw. All right, guys, we got that cut out. Reminder, don't use Sawzall or whatever to cut aluminum. That whole time I did it, I was scared. It works on this thin stuff and it's like straight cuts, but trying to maneuver it on that bandsaw worked a whole lot better. So we got two things to do. We got to open this up big enough to weld a piece of 3-inch aluminum pipe on it. And then we also got to knock down this old weld. So I went to Lowe's, got me a sanding disc, or a flat wheel is what they call them. This one here is like 80 grit. That's the highest grit that I needed to go with. And I bought a new one because I want this to be designated aluminum. But let's knock it out. Now that we got the in and out tanks cut off, got everything sanded down, got it all prepped, got it hit with acetone, let me show you what I'm actually gonna be welding on this. Let me show you what we will be welding onto this Speed Factory front mount intercooler. Check this out. We got what we call some billet heavy duty intercooler clamps, and these are what they call a quick clamp. They got two flanges like so. Both of these flanges have a groove cut in it for the O-ring to sit. Then this little collar slides down over the O-rings and over both of these clamps. And then you daggone clamp it together with this and push this little push pin right inside of there. Look at the finished product. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was super nervous to weld these daggone quick releases on this super duper nice Speed Factory front mount. I ended up working with the 152 amps, 155 amps at like 100 hertz, and I got it to melt in pretty daggone nice. I'm pretty proud of it. Got both of them rested into place. They ain't that bad. You could definitely tell it's a tight fit. All I did was take a little bit of this baby butt jelly, put on the O-rings, and then I slid the collars down where it got a nice little lip on it. Matter of fact, let me just show you. I slid the black collar down where it meets up flush right there. And then check out how easy that clamp just clamps into place. Hey, word up. If these jokers work out kind of nice, I might get some of my daggone self, because they only like 20 something bucks, maybe even less than that, but they cheap. And they hot too. Ooh wee! That junk look hot, boy.
Ooh wee! Before this semester's over, you're gonna be real sick of that phrase.
Look at that. Clamp is locked into place. These little jokers got a smidge of movement. Man, that junk looks straight tasteful to me. I went ahead and put these brand new driver's side headlight into place just to make sure that we don't have any kind of interference with that upper part of the intercooler. Now we can start the intercooler piping. All right, Speedaddicks, when you do intercooler piping, you need to plan everything out in your mind. First thing you need to do is you need to get the intercooler piping kit. You need to look at all your bends, and you need to know basically in your mind what you're trying to accomplish so that you know that you got all your bends. So let me show you the bends that we're working with, and then we'll start going over exactly what we're gonna try to accomplish with those bends. One of the first bends is a U bend. In this particular intercooler piping kit that we got 2 of these, and for sure, I know we're gonna use both of those. Next bend is a 90. This is a great bend to have because definitely we're gonna use a lot of these bends. This kit came with 2 of those, and I know for a fact we're gonna use both of those. Then the last 2 bends we got is 2 straights, and then we got 2 45s. The 45s are good just in case you need to have like a slight angle. And then the straights, to be honest with you, the straights ain't gonna probably do us no good except for to maybe slice them up into a couple of pies to make some tight radius bends. So this is what it's gonna look like. Something like that. The bottom one is gonna go to the throttle body, and then this top one is gonna go to the turbo. Okay, I took my U-bend, cut it in half. I took a little bit of material off the straight side, and I'm using some painter's tape to hold it into place. And then I took the other half, I took the other half of that UJ bend, went ahead and put it inside of here to mock it up. I want to take the other U bend, line it up with the pipe in the engine bay so that I can come up with my distance right here. All I'm gonna do is cut a straight piece and add it into here. I've already installed this pipe and mocked it up. I'm satisfied with it. The last piece of the puzzle, we need to add a bead roll on the end of that. Look at that lady hump. Good, that joke ain't gonna go not nowhere. Nowhere. Cause there ain't no now nutter. All right, now that we got the cold side intercooler piping done, the only thing that we need to do is install a blow-off valve. But before I do that, we need to make our hot side. The hot side intercooler piping is always from the turbo to the intercooler. Due to the fact that the turbo generates heat, it blows that hot air through this front my intercooler, cools it off, and then this is considered a cold charged air going right back into the throttle body. So let me show you the components that we're gonna use to get this done. Plow! This is one of the first components. This is a component from Vibrant Performance. This is a 3-inch cast elbow. The reason we need to use this is because we basically need to cock 45 degrees off of the turbo. So make a long story short, all I'm gonna do is cut that in half, and we picked this one up for 40 bucks at our local performance shop, AK Phantasm. Shout out Hung and Nom, appreciate you. And we need a 45 to come off that compressor housing to shoot the intercooler piping right over here. So this is kind of what we're looking like. The 45 is gonna come right off of that, weld that to the precision turbo, and then we're gonna snake that down, come across back into the intercooler. Looks like the 45 is gonna kick it a little too close to this here, which is not where I want it. I want the pipe to kind of probably do that number right there. Traced out my mark, see if we cut that out, see if that'll work. Think we got it. Got a little rock to it, so I think I'm gonna put it back on that belt sander. Next thing we need to do is take this off, maybe grind down that lip, if not cut that lip off. And then we can weld this onto the compressor housing, and then we'll show you what we're gonna do with this after that. So as you can tell, I put both surfaces on the belt sander to make sure they're true. We got a little bit of wobble there, so I still need to probably do just a tad bit more work. But now what I want to do is I want to bevel both of these sides. Both pieces of material are super thick, so I want to bevel them so that when I do weld it, I'll be able to get the most penetration I can possible. This daggone belt is a little jacked up, so we're gonna go ahead and swap it on out. So now that we got our vibrant 90-degree elbow, aka 45 because I cut it in half, got the turbo mocked into place. Now we need to weld on this heavy duty clamp. So I just want to double check my fitment. Everything looks great. So yeah, go ahead and weld that on. Hey, and I totally forgot that we got to replace this with a new piece. This is the part coming out of the head going to the upper hose for the radiator. But like I said, I totally forgot that we need to make sure that we got tremendous amount of clearance. Let me show you what we're gonna put into place. What we got here is, I have no clue. I'm new to the K series, but I do know that the reason for this is to relocate the fill port where you have to put your coolant into the radiator. The radiator normally is where you go, but since this is the highest point of the coolant system, they've relocated it. About a good hour, 2 hours later, I finally got the last heavy duty clamp tacked into place. I got all this stuff ready. I got all of my fitment like I want. And now I can go ahead and fully at least weld these heavy duty clamps. Get me some of these clamps, man. This junk, I swear, dude, this is a game changer. So I've made my mark where I have to cut this piece of pipe, and I can't put this in my bandsaw, so I'm gonna have to freehand it. So a good idea is get you something like a belt of some sort. This is just a too aggressive a grit sanding belt. All you do is pinch it together where both of these sides are true up, kind of shimmy it like so. And once you got it lined up, draw your line. Just like that. Just for some added rigidity, or just something that I personally wanted to do, I made a little bracket out of some strap aluminum that I got from Metal Supermarket to keep this piece sturdy. And I think I may add another one right here, only because these two pipes are touching. So I think I may raise this up just a smidge and then make a bracket to maybe go to that point right there. But overall, I'm satisfied. We got to do the blow-off valve. We got to find a good location for the blow-off valve. It's not only got to function correctly, but I also want to be cosmetically pleasing. So let me show you the blow-off valve that Daniel has chose. Yeah, we got a Turbo Smart blow-off valve. Look how small and cute this thing is. Just like most kits, came with instructions and a couple of nipples. All right, so for placement, guaranteed it's gonna go on the pipe going into the throttle body, because that's just overall the best place to put it. I'm thinking somewhere down here or on the inside. I think the inside would be the best bet, because if he need to do anything with the radiator, he can, like as far as moving the fans to the back. I think if it goes on the inside, I think that'll be probably the best location. Yup, let's do that. Yeah, or me not wanting to do something, or, you know, whatever. What you need? All right, guys, a few hours have passed, and I actually ended up having to remake this pipe due to the fact that the part of the bumper and it's still touching. My daughter has brought me a new tool that I purchased. I'm super pumped about this tool. And let's see if we can try to make this tool work with what we're trying to accomplish. Wow, boy, I got me a Daglim Tycon fixture. This thing here is designed to put like 90-degree pipes in it, or like angled pieces of pipe, and you can get whatever angle you want, cut it, and it's always gonna be true. This junk came in a daggone box that looked like, word up, this box was so daggone nice, it looked like kind of like the boxes that your iPhones come out of. So this is an example of what I'm talking about. This angled piece of pipe, I'm able to put it in that fixture, and I can figure out exactly where it in this bend that I need to cut it, so that all I gotta do is add in a straight piece right there. All right, I watched Joe Simpson do this, but I'm just gonna wing it, because I don't know what I'm doing. But I think you do something like this, maybe, and then you figure out what kind of bends you need. Yeah, I think it's like that. Y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. I might have to go watch that Joe Simpson video one more time. It's touching right there though. Maybe that matters. Yeah, I think it's where it touches it on the pipe. Hold on. So I think I do it like this. Hold that piece straight as possible. And then wherever it touches on that pipe is where that junk got to go. Yeah, so it's touching right there at 19. So if you look at this fixture, it's got all the different sizes of pipe. We're messing with 3-inch. So I need to loosen up this Allen. I think I gotta loosen it up enough that it will go to that 3-inch mark and that 3-inch mark. And then I think I just got to slide this pipe in here. So I'm lining it up where the mark is right there. And that ain't gonna work. Or maybe, oh, yeah, it go like this, I think. I'm gonna draw a line that way I can see it, huh? Yeah, that's how it is. So I'm gonna put that in the bandsaw and we're gonna cut that mug. Actually, I am gonna tighten this up and put it in the bandsaw. Off camera, I had to move this upper pipe a little bit farther back towards the body of the car. I had to add in that spool piece. As you remember, I used my little jig to make that happen. And now, let me show you the blow-off valve. Wow, boy, that junk look fresh. Good, look how good that junk look, boy. I think Daniel, man, is gonna be super stoked. And the last thing we need to do is put on my super custom aluminum Speedaddixxgarage sticker. Well, it ain't a sticker, it's an aluminum decal that I got to tack into place. Wow, just like that, Speedaddixxgarage logo is sitting right where I want it to sit. Hey, and just like that, the intercooler piping on the EGK swap is a wrap. So if you like this content, give me a comment below. What do you think about my welds? What do you think about the changes that I will be making for this year? And if you got any suggestions, please comment below. And in the meantime, check me out on check me out on social medias, Instagram, Facebook. And before I forget, hey, thank you, Adam, for looking out for your boy on that. And for sure, I appreciate you donating that to the channel. This right here is gonna get a lot of use around here. Love you, fam. We'll update you on the next video. Next video will be up pipe and screamer pipe. See you later.